Now, a really good way to organize detailed data into rows and columns is to use tables, and mainly into rows. You'll be familiar with tables from other applications like Word and like Excel, even PowerPoint. So I want to create some tables of data, and I'm thinking what I'd like to do is create a table actually on the population page. So if I go to the page called population down here, to add a table, and actually before I add a table, to add a heading to this page, I'm just going to go to home and I'm going to add a text box, and I just want it to have Europe population as a title. And I'll press Control A, and I just want to increase the font size of that title to say 18, and maybe make the font color 3257A8, which is blue. And I'm just going to resize it and pop it in the top left corner. Okay, so there's my title. Now to add my table, in the visualizations pane, you'll see a button that looks like this called table. So I make sure I've got nothing chosen. I click on my report canvas. I click on my table visualization button, and there's my table. And just as this explains, let me stretch it. Just as this explains, you need to select or drag fields to populate this visual. Now, the sorts of information I want to show in my table is coming from the population query. So from the population query, I'd like to see, first of all, the country. So I drag country and I drop it on the visual, or I could drag it and drop it into this columns bucket, but I'll drop it on the visual and that becomes my first column. And let me just resize this up and down. And so I've created a table. Doesn't have a total at the bottom, just has a heading, and it's alphabetized in ascending order, the countries. If I click on country, I can see it's in ascending order because of this little up triangle. But if I click country, I can turn around and sort it in descending order with Zimbabwe at the top. But if I click country again, it's gone back to ascending order. Okay, so we've got ourselves a country, we've got ourselves one column. Now I want to add a second column, and you can add as many columns as you need, but I'm going to add population either to the columns bucket or to the visual itself. So I'll drag population and drop it here. Suddenly now I have a total because I've added a numeric value, and that numeric value is population. And again, I can click the column heading and sort it with my largest populations, China and India, at the top, or sort it in ascending order with Nauru being at the top, which is the smallest population. But I want to go back to sorting it by country, so I'll just click on the column heading country and sort it from A to Z. Okay, so we've got our table and we've got our two columns, and they show in the columns bucket as well. And we've resized it. We can resize these columns, so I can make this column wider, so some of the longer names fit, and just resize the table as well. Move it, resize it. Now I want to look at formatting the table. So I've got the table chosen. I go to my visualizations pane and I click my format your visual. First thing, and the most common thing, is the style presets. If I go into style presets, I've got the default table style, which looks like sort of like white column headers, white total, alternating grey between each row. If I hit this drop down here, I might choose bold header, and so that just looks like that. If I choose alternating rows, then that looks like that. And so you can choose from these styles, contrasting alternating rows. But I'm just going to go for condensed. So have a look at the different styles and see which one you like. But I like condensed because it allows me to see a lot of information clearly. Now, another thing that we often add to tables is something that is not too dissimilar from conditional formatting, which you may be used to from Excel and from Access. To add conditional formatting to this table, basically what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the visuals and format the visuals, and I'm going to search for icons. And that is because I need to turn icons, the cell element, on. So I turn it on. And that invokes this. And this is where you can learn more about conditional formatting. But I don't want to count the country. I actually want to sum the population. So I'm going to go for population, the query, and population, the field. So it sums the population, though I could change this to average, max, min, or even count. So I total the population, and the first third will have a red diamond, the second third will have a triangle, and the top third of the highest populations will be in green. I'm going to change that to stars, this one here. So my top populations will have a gold star. And I'll go okay. And so I see all of these have got a silver star, which means they're actually in the bottom third. But if I click on population to sort by population, I can see that China has got a gold star because they're both my highest populations. So that's a thing as well. This little button here, this is focus mode, and if I click it, it really allows me to focus in, and look how clear and easy it is to read it when you're in focus mode. So if you can imagine your report has a number of visuals and you want to focus in on one of the visuals and make it really easy and clear to see, that's what focus mode does. And this takes me back to my report. And that was just that little button there, focus mode. So that's really handy as well. And basically I just want to save. Oh, hang on, I want to give this table a title. So to give it a title, I'm just going to search, not for icons, but for title. And I'll turn the title on. And so that's when you see this text box is lit up, and I can add a title. So I'm going to call it literally Europe population. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to call it population thirds, because the top third is a gold star, the middle third is a silver star, and the bottom third is, sorry, a silver star, and the middle third is a half silver, half gold. So there's my title, and basically there it is there, population third. So whatever you type in here appears up here. And you can proceed to choose a font size, bold, italic and underline, text color, alignment. You can make it look as pretty as you want to. So I'll leave that up to you, and I'll just close that and I'll save our work. And so that is tables.